Hi, my name is Samantha Burke, and my project was focused on the comparisons of many of the well-known buildings in downtown Florence, Alabama. Florence, Alabama is located in the northwest corner of Alabama and is also located along the Tennessee River. Florence, Alabama downtown was established in the year 1818 by a surveyor from Italy named Ferdinand Sinoner. Ferdinand named Florence after his favorite city in Italy since he was from Italy. The land was originally bought for the cheap price of $15.45. Only 180 people bought the land at the time, and one of the people that did buy it included General Andrew Jackson. The city repeatedly changed hands and was greatly damaged during the Civil War. Part of the city was burned down, and after the town was rebuilt, the population jumped from 1,600 to 6,000 people between the year of 1887 to 1890. In 1885, the LaGrange College moved to Colbert County to downtown Florence and is now known as the University of North Alabama. Downtown Florence is full of military history to music history and is often host festivals such as the W.C. Handy Festival. The first building I chose to compare was Wesleyan Hall, which is located along the perimeter on UNA's campus. Many people refer to this beautiful Gothic building as the castle because of its structure. Wesleyan Hall was built in 1885 and during the 1855, and during the Civil War, both the Confederate and the Union armies occupied the building. The building served as a meeting place for military personnel and townspeople for parties. The first thing that I noticed about Wesleyan Hall, the difference, was the pavement of the so-called driveway. There's now a parking lot, and also the foliage has changed. There used to be a lot of like farmland and stuff, but now it is highly urbanized. The building's structure has not changed very much except for a collapsed wall that happened in the spring of 2019. The next building that I chose was Rogers Hall. Rogers Hall is located at the end of Court Street and was built in 1855 as well as a mansion for a wealthy man named George Foster. He passed away and gave this beautiful home to his daughter, Sarah Foster, and they lived in it till the year 1900. Emmett O'Neill then purchased the building, and he was soon to be governor, and eventually he passed away, and it was sold to the Florence State College. The building is now used as the Alumni House and has offices for other departments inside of it. The first change that I saw was that there are no longer it's no longer lined with trees. There's, with the exception of the two trees in the picture on the right. And now there's also a walkway in front of it with bushes in the shape of a heart. The next the next location that I had chosen was the Court Street facing Rogers Hall. Court Street in the left picture has a trolley tracks going down the center, and the street is very wide due to the horses and buggies because they needed a bigger turn radius to get around and turn around. The next thing that I saw is that we have now put in crosswalks and stoplights for traffic, and there are also buildings missing Some of the buildings had been knocked down and more modern buildings had been built. The fourth is more of a company instead of going with the school campus, and it is the old Rogers building. TN and BA Rogers bought this building, or constructed the building in 1894 and called it the Surprise Store. The store was one of the first in the area not to leave their prices up to negotiations. They had, their prices were set and they weren't going to budge on them. The building has changed significantly due to a fire that burnt the old Rogers store down. And it used to be built of brick and cement, and it is now faced with limestone and little tidbits of granite. There's also trees and bushes on the corner, lamp posts, and it looks like the pavement was better. This building, or the newer building, was host to many other companies, Alabama Outdoors, Jose Banks, and it is now the location of a bank. The last one that I had chosen is Shoals Theater. Shoals Theater is located on the corner of Seminary and Mobile Street in downtown Florence. It opened up in 1948 in October and was the first in the South to have sliding seats that made it easier for people to walk by them. Shoals Theater had funny little shows like Bill Murray and Meatballs, and it actually ended up closing in 1980, but later was reopened, if you cannot tell. The first thing that I noticed that was different was the location of its sign. It used to be on top and front and center, and it is now located on the corner in a stacked position on top. There used to also be poles that extended from the concrete all the way up to the bottom of the awning. Other than that, it has not changed very much structurally, just like every other building, with the exception of the department store. After all of the research that I've done on the beautiful, well-known buildings in downtown Florence, I've come to appreciate the growth and the history of the area. I'm also happy to see that the structure of the most buildings remain the same because they were beautifully built, and they were also built very strong to have lasted this long. Downtown Florence has a lot of hidden secrets that many people have forgotten or just don't know because they have not done the research. And I am so happy to have learned why the area is the way it is and how much it has changed over these last hundreds of years. Thank you, and that's my presentation.